When I graduated and became licensed, I was waiting to work at the joint. Because in my mind, I was going to open up a joint franchise. That's where I did my preceptor at. Like, I was so sold on the joint model. And I wanted to open up joints around the country. Like, hey, that was the vision. That's the concept. But before I went to work at the joint, I went back to New York, where I'm from. And we went back into the hood. We went into the projects. And I wanted to be able to give back to my community. Like, I never got adjusted until I got into chiropractic school. Like, that was not something that was accessible to people in my community. There was no way that my family could afford to get me adjusted when they were struggling to put food on the table. Like, that, it was just not a decision that they would be willing to make. So I wanted to go back into the community and be able to pour into people who didn't have that option. And like, that's still our mission to this very day. That's why we do things the way we do. And I went back to the church that I used to attend, and I offered to adjust everyone in that congregation for free. And we put a little donation basket, and everyone that came up to get adjusted put a donation, and we adjusted 85 people in 1 hour. Like, it's insane to think that that's even possible. Like, these people filled out a consent form, laid on the table, got adjusted, was able to have a conversation with them, were able to give them a hug, and it was 85 people in 1 hour. And then we took that donation plate and gave it to the church. And to me, it was like the biggest thing, because everyone at that church saw me fuck up. Like, I was not a good kid. They saw me get arrested. They all told my wife, because we met over there in New York, they told her that I wasn't somebody that she should be with, that she should look for someone else, that I was going to ruin her life. And then I came back as a doctor to give back to that same community. And that was like one of the biggest experiences for me. Like, to be able to do something with just these. Like, I showed up with a portable table and just my hands, and I was able to transform people's lives. Like, people still talk about it to this very day, and it's 5 years later. But when I got back to New York, I took that same passion, that same drive, and that same love that all these people poured into me, and I went into the joint. And they were seeing 40 patients a day. And like, I hear all these people talking about, like, oh, it's not my practice, it's not my responsibility, like, they just show up to work. And I can't understand that, because it's not my mindset. Like, I saw that they were seeing 40 patients a day, and I wasn't satisfied with 40 patients a day. I had to prove to myself that I was able to blow that practice up, even though it did not belong to me. Even though I was an employee, I treated that practice as if it was my own. I acted as if I was an owner. And we grew that office to see 118 patients a day. Like, I would be there with another chiropractor, and I would have people waiting 45 minutes to get adjusted by me, a line of people, and that other chiropractor didn't have anyone. That chiropractor had been a chiropractor for over 20 years, has way more experience than me, probably way more skills than me. But why did they choose to wait for me? Was it possible that it was the frequency at which I was vibrating at? Was it possible that they could sense the love and the passion for what it is that I do? And honestly, I probably would have stayed there. It was something where I felt comfortable. But to me, comfort is death. It's a lack of evolution. And I knew I needed to leave. I lasted 4 months at the joint, and then I quit to go open my own office. I found the perfect space. I hired a contractor. I gave him $47,000 to start work, and they disappeared. That was our entire life savings. Every cent that I had, this guy walked off with. And what do you do at that point? Like, I heard something interesting the other day where they said the same water that hardens eggs softens potatoes. So the same environment that would have made somebody give up and quit and be all down and depressed on themselves is the same water that made me into the man I needed to be to blow this practice out of the water. That's when I went into the community. That's when I started adjusting people, because Like, what was I going to do? Just sit around and feel sorry for myself? No. I looked for the opportunity. I took that same hustler mindset that I had when I was a kid, and I applied it to chiropractic. I called gyms. I called yoga studios. I called Pilates studios. I called CrossFits. And I told them that I would be willing to go over there and adjust everyone for free. I created a brand. Like, people started to recognize me for what I did. And then I brought my little sidewalk sign that said $20 adjustments. I adjusted all of the staff for free, and then their clients paid $20. And I would not go home until I adjusted 30 people a day. If I didn't hit that 30 at the gym, I would go post up at Starbucks, post up in front of Publix. I did not care. Like, I've been chased by security. I've been trespassed from different locations for adjusting people. So now, this passion, this fire that exists within me that has pushed me to overcome that 47K, because we still opened up that office. We made it happen. We didn't give up. Like, it would have been so easy to just give up and go back to the joint and live a comfortable ass life and just have this victim mentality. But I would never allow myself to do that, because I know the mission that I was put on this earth to do. So out of all these people, we had 500 patient files, over 500 patient files. We had 150 reviews, and I opened my doors for the first time. We called every single one of those patients and offered them a free visit at our new office. Because remember, I was doing this while we were building the place out, and I was talking the vision to them. I was telling them how amazing this space was going to be. And everybody told me I was insane. They were like, no, I'm so sorry. Your office is going to be 45 minutes away. I can't afford to drive that far. But yet they showed up. And within 2 weeks of being open, we were seeing 100 patients a week. By the end of that month, we collected $40,000. This is coming from a person that was charging $20 an adjustment. Like, I got told by Dr. Tori Robeson that I was nothing but a glorified lemonade stand. That I was devaluing the profession. But yet we're doing pretty good for ourselves now.